Hello guys, today I'm just making a basic video on some basic insights on how to study. So these are some tips and tricks and techniques that you guys can use whenever you're studying a particular subject or anything that you're learning. It should help you. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. And yeah, let's start with the video. Alright, so by the way, this image is a basic image of how the desk looks like. There's a laptop, monitor, some few pens and pencils, calculator, and yeah, some papers there. So just to put it out there that this image is a basic layout of the desk. Alright, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so the first tip is to first of all create a productive study environment. So what I mean by this is that if you're looking at your desk or the environment you're working in, it must be really, let's say, it should be able to promote focus and productivity. So first of all, what are the techniques you can use here? First of all, try to minimize distractions, right? So you can either find a quiet area where you're working, or like just away from noisy distractions like TV or social media, loud music. That would be the best thing. So what you need to do is you need to organize your workspace. Okay, you need to keep your study materials, textbooks, and stationery within the reach. That would be the best way possible when dealing with the creation of a productive study environment. So you have to organize your workspace first. So let's say a clutter-free workspace, it enhances concentration. So you would like to work in a clean environment. That would be the best choice when dealing with a productive study environment. It will help to promote that interest and curiosity while working. And let's move on to the next slide. Okay, setting clear goals by creating a topic sheet for the subject that you're taking. Now, I've used this technique. I usually, sometimes when you're studying, either by your exam board, they would either produce a document that will list down all the topics you're going to be learning, or sometimes they don't even mention what topics you're learning, so you have to create it by yourself. So you can do that by creating a topic sheet. Just take a Word document, just write down all the topics that you're learning for your particular subject, and try to list them down as fast as possible. And try to look at the topics and see how you guys can manage your time accordingly to learn each topic. Okay, this is very essential because it helps you to identify the areas that you need more attention or you need more time to allocate study accordingly. And plus, you can, by looking at your topics in your topic sheet, you can like divide your study sessions into more smaller and manageable tasks. Now, this approach would make the workload less overwhelming, and it will allow you to have a better comprehension when you're looking at your topic sheet. Okay, so let's say, for example, if you do math, you're just going to list down all the topics you learn in math and try to create some goals there, help you to complete the topics each day effectively, and so that you're prepared for the day of your exam. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Use effective study techniques suited to your preference to learn material. Now, I know that there are so many techniques online. You can use either active recall and all those type of techniques, but however, I use a technique called note making. This basic note making technique where you just take a piece of paper and write down everything you have learned about this topic from the resources that you're using or you're finding, right? Based on whatever resource you're using, you just look at the resource that you're using, try to understand what that material is trying to teach you about that specific topic, and try to take down notes on that topic on a piece of paper or digital notes, whatever your preference is. That's why I've written down is that you use effective study techniques that is suited to your preference. Okay, some people use active learning, spaced repetitions. Other people just practice with question papers. So that's a different technique that different people have to approach. So suit the one, or just check the one that you're most familiar with. Okay, so after looking at that, let's move on to the next technique. So find all the resources you can find to learn the topics in that subject. Now, this is a very important technique. Is before you start learning something, you need to create a folder, let's say in your computer or anywhere. You have to create and find resources before you start learning the material. So you have a basic layout of where you need to search for resources, right? So if you have already found them beforehand, it makes it easier for you to learn the material quickly. And since you know that those resources are valuable and effective, you can tend to learn the topic more faster. So sometimes I use books as resources to learn a subject. For example, math, I refer to different revision guides when learning maths. Or you can just look at YouTube videos, how YouTubers teach a specific concept for a particular subject. So yeah, that's another crucial tip when you're learning how to study, is to find all the resources beforehand. Let's say like revision guides or textbooks before you start learning a topic, so that you can read your resources that you've found and then start learning it and making notes on that topic. And yeah, moving on to practicing questions. Okay, the next technique is time management. Now this is a technique that I think that's kind of made up, which I just put it out there, is the propulsion technique. So propulsion technique just means let's say anything that you're going to put forward, right? You're going to push into something. So this is a technique that I kind of use, is that whenever you start time management, other people use calendars to allocate their time, right? They use Pomodoro techniques. Pomodoro techniques. They either create a schedule, they avoid multitasking on a specific case. So this really depends. To manage time, you just take out your calendar, try to allocate what you're going to be doing in that specific day. You're going to write it down beforehand, one day before. You're going to write down what you're going to be doing the next day. So you're technically propelling yourself to do that work the next day. You're pushing yourself to do that work the next day, right? So that's a technique that, yeah, I would do, kind of. But depending on the preference that you have on how you manage your time again. So this is one of the techniques I kind of use. So you can change your techniques, always have a growth mindset. That would be the best choice. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Practice material that's learned through practice questions / tests and past papers. So once you review once you review your material, and you've found the resources and you made your notes, you have to apply that knowledge to test whether you've actually learned it, whether you can actually apply the knowledge that you've learned. So that could be either by finding practice papers online, for A levels, and for IGCSEs, you can check out, there's plenty of resources online for you guys to study. Then you can use tests to test your knowledge, and past papers. So practice questions are really important when dealing with these type of questions that you're learning, because these questions will test you whether you know the information, and will in fact train you better. It will train you in a way that you can learn the material or solidify your knowledge, right? So it's going to enhance your learning. It's going to boost your learning totally. So do practice questions after you study the material in and out properly, and then start practicing material. Some people just practice the material. Yeah, you can do a question paper beforehand just to see what topics you need to study more on. So that technique is also a very good technique that you guys can use. And the next one, when it's time for exam, what should you do? Some people should not start, should not start studying, but you can study. But the best way, once you're prepared, you should just relax and start revision. I think that's the most crucial step. Many students, they try to study 2 days before the exam. That is kind of like a not advisable idea. So what you just need to do is just relax and start your revision. Whatever materials that you found, you made notes, you practice your papers. You just need to revise your content. That's more than enough before the day of the exam, and just get a good night's sleep. Sleep for about 7 to 8 hours. Yeah, that would be the best choice. And eat a balanced diet. That's what all of them say. Yeah, eat a balanced diet, get enough sleep, relax, and do your revision. This should be more than enough. And the final slide is thank you guys for watching this how to study video. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. The channel really helps a lot. And new content will be posted soon. Do comment below on what your thoughts are about this video, and what study techniques that you guys use or how you guys study. Just do comment below on that. And yeah, I think that's it. All right. Bye, guys.